Hello, my name is Benjamin Noto. Today I have Brett, Casey, and Sana with me today, and we are going to be discussing Execuware's plan to increase efficiency and lower the stress on the managers. A schedule needs to be put priority, and there needs to be a process to where if there is going to be a change in production, the entire schedule isn't thrown out the window. So to introduce this problem, Jenny was hired most recently as the operations supervisor, and her big part of the job was to create a schedule. That way we can have production going as smoothly as possible with no hiccups, no materials wasted, and no time wasted. This change, that doesn't only affect the production in the current day, but it affects the production in the days following. So we need to define and analyze the problem.
So to do so, we evaluate Dan Bryan, who's been working for Execuware for a really long time, and he's not considered a veteran. And he feels that he has the power to make these last minute changes to please the customers without really consulting any of the other staff and make sure that their needs are met. And this causes a lot of issues that he's not aware of and everyone else is kind of having a problem with.
Okay, so to establish criteria now, what do y'all think is most important on how to fix these issues?
I think that it's really important, that a schedule is definitely the main priority and everyone has to respect the schedule. I also think that before changes are brought from salesman to the operations facility, they have to go through a higher up first. And I think that would solve a lot of issues for sure. Meetings definitely should be mandatory and so that the staff is there and they can talk about the changes that could happen in the company. And the criteria for the first solution is fast to enact, time efficient, and simple enough that everyone can understand. And that way there aren't any hiccups or misunderstandings throughout the company. And then lastly, the solution needs to increase communication among employees in a peaceful and honest way so that everyone is communicating with each other.
I agree. I like that. So to generate our possible solutions, what do y'all think would be best?
So one possible solution would be a manager meeting needs to take place that includes Dan, Helen, Jenny, Lucy, and Miss H to all find some common level ground and agree to sticking on a certain schedule. It might also be a good idea to have Dan or any other salesman go through Helen or another higher up before it gets pushed to Jenny. That way there's no confusion and everyone can know what's happening. Or a third solution would be there needs to be a time limit, such as 2 days before, where if any changes are made to the order, it will have to be put to the back of the line so that we don't have any more production holdups.
I agree. I like that. I like those ideas. Do y'all think 2 days would be enough? I think that would be a good time to make sure that production didn't get held up.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think any more than 2 days would kind of make it hard for the company and production to run smoothly. So I feel like 2 days is a perfect amount of time.
Do you all think
And you could
2 days before and after or just before?
I was thinking before, just
Okay.
2 days before, say that you got in line to get your 2 pockets sewn on your jackets or whatever. And, 1 day before you're trying to change it to 1 pocket, that should not be allowed. You should have to get, put back in the line. We can't change production just to meet one customer's needs.
Yeah. And for the larger orders, you can have the salesperson reach out to them and make sure that they didn't have any changes.
Yes.
That way, for sure that they aren't going to change what they want.
Mm-hmm. And Brett, I liked your idea about having to go through a higher up or going through Miss H, just so the salesman isn't telling Jenny straight on, these are the changes that are happening whenever she doesn't even know if her boss knows about these changes.
Mm-hmm.
None of that needs to happen. We need to make sure that top management always knows what's going on and they approve everything that's going on as well. So to evaluate these possible solutions, I think a manager meeting would not be hard to put together at all. That would probably be one of the it'd be very beneficial. I don't know if that would be a fix all, but everyone needs to learn to respect the schedule. No changes. It doesn't matter how, how big this customer is. But what else do y'all think about the other solutions?
I agree completely with what you said about the manager meeting. I think it's beneficial to have communication within the staff and the company. And just like you and Brett said, I think with Dan going through a higher up, it would kind of make him have some responsibility and just taking awareness into not just doing things without letting anyone else in the company know. And it would also give like Helen and Jenny a heads up and knowing like orders and just having everything really organized within the company.
Yeah.
And I think you could combine like Dan going to the top management for changes with the manager meeting. So you can have it approved, and then whenever they have the meeting, discuss the matters. That way everyone's in the know, and then also you have like less micromanaging of Dan going and tell Lucy or someone else like what to do.
Okay. Yes, I like that a lot. So, in conclusion, what would y'all say our best solution would be? I think these all need to happen.
I agree.
The most important, in my opinion, is going to be to set this time limit to where changes can't be made after a certain point in time, because we cannot lose the production efficiency. We're not only losing time, but we're losing material too, because they've already cut the pockets and done this and done that.
I think overall that'll be like beneficial for the customers and the employees, and it's taking stress off of employees for like time limits of getting orders done, and customers it's kind of setting like a boundary or restriction to where they can't, like, you'll still have your business because you can't you know what you're expecting when you put an order in.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think all of them are super important, but in my opinion, it was probably just having the manager meeting and like having like a really strict, like a much stricter schedule that's like respected and communicated through like all ranks of the company. Just because I think like once everyone's on the same page and like once managers and like employees like we won't really have people like Dan kind of like stepping on others' toes. I think that's probably the most important solution to kind of stop that kind of power struggle.
I also think someone needs to talk to Dan and let him know that he is not this business.
Yeah. He doesn't run the show for sure.
I think that I mean, I agree with Ben that the today's time limit is extremely important, because like without it, you don't have any like set schedule, because it can always change. So there's a lot of confusion with all that. And I think that's what causes a lot of the conflicts that they were having, and customer satisfaction was low. It seems like it was all just, there was no schedule to the company.
Yes, yeah. And there can't be no schedule. It just doesn't work. So
Yeah.
in conclusion, I say we talk about all three again to decide what we really want to put into place. I say the manager meeting needs to happen this week. We'll have everybody be there, and the higher ups. That includes Miss H, Lucy, Dan, Helen, Jenny. Do y'all agree with that?
Yeah,
I agree.
Yes.
I feel like everyone can benefit from all of these ideas and solutions.
yeah, and just making sure that everyone's on the same page for sure.
I was just about to say that.
Okay, I like that. Perfect. I'm glad we all agree on that.
Yeah.
Also think that Dan needs to be submitting his changes to a higher up, such as Helen. We need to make sure that happens in the meeting. We'll talk about that too. Do y'all agree with that?
Yeah, just like knowing his, not putting him in his place, but knowing his role within the company and not really thinking he's bigger or better than anyone else, especially like at his level.
Mhm. Yeah, just because he's a veteran, he doesn't have to have the power to push.
Exactly. Or he could go about it in a different way.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So, and
I
then
agree.
the last one, so the 2-day window, that's something that I do think we need to think about, whether it should be longer than 2 days, shorter than 2 days. I guess Jenny would be a good person to talk to about that, because
Mhm.
she is the
I
actual.
think
What were you saying, Brett?
I was gonna say, I think having the first manager meeting, it could be about setting a time for
Mhm.
this, just like an idea of another meeting to discuss how they want to schedule changes
Yeah.
Just to figure
like
out
that.
timeline.
Yeah,
Because they might know better within like what time limits that they can work in better than we can. 'Cause they're the ones that are actually doing this job in the production.
Yeah.
So, well, I'm glad that we have come to a conclusion. So my name is Ben, Sana, Casey, and Brett. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. We'll meet again next Friday. I hope
Sounds
you all have a
good.
good day.
right.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.